about you going into a luxury designer store and you're about to drop 5 figures on a bag. Imagine if the sales associate rushed you, right? Are you gonna get the bag, right? So that's number one, no rushing in the sales experience. When I'm on my sales calls, I'm taking it slow. I'm like, okay, tell me more. Okay, I was willing to stay on extra time with people. I was willing to book another call with people. Hello, Peaceful Millionaires. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I am so excited to talk about what makes someone want to pay you 5 figures in 2025. I am just coming off of my own launch of Million Dollar CEO. For those that don't know, the Million Dollar CEO program is a 12-month mastermind that helps you to hit your highest revenue and profit year while working less, and it costs $12,000. And by the end of this week, I will have enrolled 20 clients into it. When so many people are struggling to even get one person to pay them low ticket, like under 5 figures, right? Nonetheless, 5 figures. I remember I had this friend that was saying before my launch, she was like, hey, I'm paying attention to your launch because I want to know, are people still paying people 5 figures in 2025? I don't know. I don't know if people will pay for a 5-figure mastermind anymore. So I'm paying attention to your launch, and it's either going to give me hope or it's going to tell me, okay, this is not something that people are doing anymore. So I am here to tell everyone that yes, people are still paying 5 figures to people in 2025. And I want to share with you how you can do it. Okay, so that's what we're going to go over today. I'm going to go over the trends that I saw in this launch, which, by the way, I forgot to mention, this has actually been my highest converting launch in terms of my ability to convert sales calls as well. In previous launches, I've gotten the same amount of sales calls and converted less, and this is actually my highest converting launch. So that's another thing that I want to name, that I have been able to have my highest converting launch because of what I'm about to share with you today. So these are the things you need to think about when you are trying to get someone to pay you 5 figures in 2025. Now, this isn't the only things that you need to think about, right? But these are very, very important. So let's get into it. Number one, why would someone pay you 5 figures in 2025? What do you need? You need clear but customizable roadmaps. I cannot tell you how many people came to me. I would have to say like nearly 100%. And they said, what is so attractive to me about you specifically is it's clear you have a process. It's clear you have a proven framework. It's clear you have a step-by-step roadmap. I'm tired of making decisions. I'm tired of pieceworking things. I'm tired of trying to figure it all out. I'm tired of trying to make all the investments I've made in my business make sense. You have a roadmap. Tell me what to do. However, they also at the same time were like, okay, but you're not going to tell me what to do, right? Like you're going to customize it to me. You're not going to make me look like you, right? Or you're not going to make me do what you did with this client, right? I want to be unique. I want you to look at me and my business or my life and what I want and how I want to do things. And I want you to be able to customize your roadmap to me. People want your frameworks and your processes, but they also want to be able to do what they want. So your roadmap needs to be clear, but customizable for someone to pay you 5 figures in 2025. The next thing that I saw in this launch that I think is important to know is show, don't tell. So many people have made investments, and a huge theme of this launch were people telling me, I have been sold, like literally people have told me on a sales call, you're going to get this, you're going to experience this. And then I joined and I didn't. So what I would do in my emails, for example, I literally would pull up the portal and I would say, look at, or the community, and I would say, look at how thorough we are in our responses. Look at this 20-minute Loom video that I sent to somebody. Look at this, look at that, right? Like I would literally show them instead of just telling them. So I walked several people through, this is exactly how you will get support. What I am telling you right now, okay, I just told you I'm going to help you to double your sales in the next 90 days. Here is literally how I'm going to do it. I pull up the community channel. I'm like, you're going to join, get instant access to this, and then you're going to click this button and and you're going to submit your offer for review. Then you are going to go here to see the response, and then you're going to get on a call with me and we are going to talk about it. Like, I literally showed them step by step how they are going to get support, because so many people have been told they're going to get support, but they then didn't. So it gave my clients a lot of confidence to pay me 5 figures when I was able to literally show them how they are going to get support. Okay. And you have to be willing to do that. I am not afraid of someone seeing my curriculum. I am not afraid of someone seeing my workbook. I am not afraid of someone going in and like looking at my systems. I am not afraid, right? I will show you anything you want to know. The next thing is, in order to get somebody to pay you 5 figures in 2025 and in 2026, is you need to be able to take radical responsibility and accountability over your clients' results. Nobody's going to pay you 5 figures if you are not willing to share responsibility. A huge theme that came up in this launch is people were shaming themselves. They would come to me and they would say, I'm just so scared that I'm not going to make the most of this investment. I'm just so scared that I'm going to disengage, that I'm going to start hot and then fall back. I'm just so scared because I've done that before. I've joined programs, I start out hot and then I don't ask any questions. I do this and I do that and then it doesn't work and I immediately shut down. I get embarrassed when I hear something on a call and I feel like maybe I don't belong and then I just leave. And they were just shaming themselves. And to several people, I had to look them in the eye and say, that's not just you. That's my job too. And because they would keep saying things like, I just want to take responsibility. I just want to take responsibility over my investment. I just want to take accountability. I don't want to blame the investments that I've made. I don't want to blame the coach. I don't want to blame the service provider. I don't want to blame anyone. Nobody wants to blame anyone. But I would tell them, it's okay that we share the responsibility. We share the blame. If you disengage, that's not just on you. That's on me too, right? If people are disengaging from my program, that's my responsibility too. It's not just theirs, right? And so I would look people in the eye and I would say, I am also accountable to you and how you engage. I am sharing this accountability with you. I am sharing this responsibility with you. Right? I remember I had one person and we were talking about her results and just being so scared that she wasn't going to get results. And I was telling her, I was like, I am taking accountability for what I am saying to you today that I can help you do. I am holding myself accountable to what I am promising you today. And if I don't do it, that's on me. That is not on you. And you can email me. You can let me know. We will have a conversation. I will take responsibility. Right? Like, I was willing to do that. And so many people aren't willing to do that. And you want people to pay you 5 figures. So many people aren't willing to look at their clients in the eye and say, if I don't do what I said I'm going to do today, you get to send me an email and let me know what you think about it, right? You get to say, hey, you said this. What's happening? And I will figure it out with you. Now, there's a balance to this. There's a balance, of course, like it takes 2 to tango, and your client knows that. Your client knows that. That's why they're coming on your calls and they're telling you in your inbox that they want to take responsibility and they don't want to blame, and they know that they always get something out of all their investments and they don't want to seem like they're whining or complaining. They know that, but they need to know that you're willing at least to share the accountability and to share the responsibility. So I'm not scared of that email because I know what that email is actually going to look like. It's not going to be, you said this, how dare you? It's going to be, hey, we talked about doing this and here's my part in it. But I want to know, what do you think we should do next, right? It's going to be like that because they know that we're sharing responsibility. So I'm not scared of that email. If you're scared of emails, don't ask people for 5 figures. That's my thing. I said to this one person, she was like, I just want to have really low expectations. And I was like, why would you pay someone $12,000 and have low expectations? And her face, she was like, I guess you're right. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, if you're paying someone $12,000, you should have high expectations. I was like, it is okay to have high expectations of me. And she looked so surprised that I said that. I was like, yeah, you get to have high expectations of me, and I will do everything I can to reach those expectations. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that things won't go wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's okay for you to have expectations of me. That is okay. You're paying me $12,000. You get to. And she was like, wow. She was like, yeah, I always go in with low expectations. I'm like, no, don't. And so, are you willing to share responsibility with your clients and tell them that? Or are you someone that's saying things like, I only want to attract people that will take radical responsibility over their own results? Okay, well, in order to do that, I have to be someone that will take radical responsibility over their results too. Okay, so that's very important. The next theme that I'm seeing is reachability, right? For someone to pay you high ticket in 2025, you need to have reachability as well. Something that was coming up, right, throughout the, my sales calls and things like that, and in my inbox was, I know you have a team, right? I know you have a team. I know you have co-coaches. I've been in programs with co-coaches before. I'm not against them. Or for example, maybe you're an agency owner, like you probably hear this too. I know you have a team. I know you have an agency. I know that, there's going to be someone else working on my account, but how much access do I get to you? Am I able to reach you if I need you? How involved are you, right? They just want to know that you're reachable. It doesn't mean that you have to literally be the one doing the work, but they want to know you're reachable. So for me, I'm able to say, oh, I'm on all the weekly calls unless I'm sick or on vacation. However, even still, right? Because, I'm not doing every single review and I'm not doing, my theme calls and things like that. I was able to say to them, and if ever anything comes up, just email us and I'll see it, right? Like reachability is important. And that alone, they were like, okay, because why would someone pay you 5 figures if they feel like they can't send you an email giving you feedback on something, for example? And I tell them too, I'm like, oh, when you join the program, because quite a few people were like, I am just worried about, it goes back to like being worried about the investment, right? And I was like, oh, just so you know, in the first section of my portal in the start here, there's a feedback form that I check regularly. So submit that feedback form. We will check it regularly and we will do our best to, implement the feedback and let you know if we didn't, why we didn't, etc. And so it just shows that, oh, okay, so you're reachable. So like if I'm having an issue with something, you're reachable. That's all they want to know. And so reachability is important. How are you showing your clients that you're reachable? The next thing is no rushing. No rushing. And this goes a little bit into what I said before around clear but customizable roadmaps. A lot of people have come to me during this launch and they've said not only with coaching investments, but also with service provider investments, they felt rushed through the process from the standpoint of like, for example, they're on a coaching call and they feel like they're just another number getting rushed, or they're going through an onboarding and they ask a question to the CEO and then the CEO is like, okay, and like kind of rushes them through the next steps and doesn't, make them feel seen or heard. Think about you going into a luxury designer store, let's say, and you're about to drop 5 figures on a bag. Imagine you're looking around, you're checking the bags out, you're doing different, you're like, okay, which one am I going to pay for? Imagine if the sales associate rushed you and was like, okay, are you going to like get the bag, right? Are you going to get the bag? Right? So that's number 1, no rushing in the sales experience. Number 1, no rushing in the sales experience. When I'm on my sales calls, I'm taking it slow. I'm like, okay, tell me more. Okay. I was willing to stay on extra time with people. I was willing to book another call with people. There were people that I got onto another call with. I'm not rushing you, right? No rush. Now, do I have policies? Yes. Once you say yes, you have to join within 48 hours, etc. Right? But like, I was willing to stay extra with people. I was willing to get on calls with people until they got to a confident yes. I'm not rushing. I'm not in a rush. I'm going to be okay no matter what. I'm here to make sure you feel excited about your purchase. And that's how you want to feel when you're about to drop 5 figures on a bag, for example, right? Don't rush me. Don't rush me. I will try on every single thing. I will look at the outfits. I will send pictures to the group chat. I will FaceTime the group chat. Do not rush me. Right? So that's number 1. But also number 2 is making sure that you're not rushing people in the client experience as well. So like I said, there were people that were telling me, oh, I felt like I was rushed on calls, or I felt like I was rushed through an onboarding, or I felt like this or that, right? It goes back to the client experience that you need to have. When someone's paying you 5 figures, do you want to feel rush. Now, again, there's balance and nuance to everything. I'm not saying that you need to be on a group call and coaching somebody for 30 minutes on a group call when there's a line of other people waiting, right? There's a balance. That's not what I'm saying. But what is your energy toward the client? Because I find, because I'm not in a rush, I end up getting everything done, for example, on a group call with a client and having them feel complete within 10 to 15 minutes. Because energetically, I'm not in a rush. The client feels complete. But so many people are in a rush because they're worried about time, da, 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 da. So where can you at least energetically not be in a rush with your clients? And same thing if you're a service provider. Where do you feel like you're trying to rush them through the process when it's like, oh no, we'll be fine. Everything's going to get done on time, etc. Again, I want to be clear, there's nuance to this in terms of if you're an agency owner, you have a design agency and someone's taking you 3 weeks to get back to you. And that's not what I'm talking about. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about energetically. Okay? Because energy will come out in how you support the client. So that's going to be important. The next thing, and I actually got this from my coach, DL Sharon, who really helped me to lock this in and understand this launch. She has a great podcast that you all should listen to. If you look up her name, you'll be able to find it. But no no's, right? Only yes. If someone is going to pay you 5 figures in 2025, why would you say no to them? Here's what I mean. I had a client, right, that has since joined, but they were like, oh, are you going to review my emails in the program? And originally on the call, I was like, no, we don't do that. We do that in $1 Million Email, right? But here's what I will help you with your marketing, because we do help a lot with marketing inside $1 Million CEO. So I'm like, here's what I will help you with. And after I was like, okay, I was thinking about it more and I was like, oh man, I don't know. She didn't really like that answer, right? And I was talking to my coach about it and I was like, yeah, like what, I don't know, it's a no, like the answer is no. So I don't know what to say. And she was like, why would somebody pay you 5 figures for you to say no? And I was like, that's actually a really good point, right? That's a really good point. And so I was like, but I don't understand. What if the answer is no? Like what if you don't do that in your program? And she was like, what do you tell your clients? Systems that answer objections, right? That's a part of your elevated offer framework. What is your system for that objection? If somebody wants their marketing reviewed, what is your system to answer that objection? And I was like, oh my goodness, you're right. I need to elevate my offer and I need to figure out how can I support them with getting their marketing reviewed without necessarily breaking the boundaries and policies that I have around $1 Million Email versus $1 Million CEO. And I was able to get really creative and decide that I'm going to introduce an AI tool into the program. So then when I talked to her again, and I was like, actually, now that I thought more about it, I am going to be introducing a tool that's going to help you to be able to review your marketing. Give us some time to work on it, but like just know that it's on the docket and it's on the list. And she was like, great, sounds good. Like she was excited about that. She was like, oh yeah, I love AI. Like, I think that's a great idea. Because why would somebody pay you 5 figures to say no? So that one is from DL. So thank you for that. And so I thought that was a really good lesson. And it plays into what I've already always said to my clients, which is you have to have a system for every objection. And that was a moment where I was like, oh, I just don't have a system for that objection. But I really like the way DL said, like, why would you say no to someone that wants to pay you 5 figures? I'm like, that's so true. How can I always say yes? How can I find a way to say yes within my boundaries and policies? Those are the main things. But I also, of course, why would someone pay you 5 figures if you don't have 5-figure results and you're not willing to promise 5-figure results? Even beyond 5 figures, how can you promise 10x 5 figures? Someone's paying you 10,000. How can you promise $100,000 result, right? So I want you all to think about, if I want to charge 10K, do I have 100K results? If I'm asking someone to pay me 10K, do I have a result that is worth $100,000? So for example, even if you're not in the business niche, right? Where you're literally making someone $100,000. If you are in the weight loss niche and you're only promising, oh, I'll help you like feel better in your clothes. Is that $100,000 result? Or is lose 50 pounds in the next X amount of time $100,000 result? So you need to think about that. And if you can't deliver that, don't charge 5 figures. It is what it is. You're going to have to wait, right? You're going to have to wait to charge. And so that's how you need to be thinking, right? And so I know that I have well above. I have 100K results. I've helped people become millionaires in my program and they've paid me $12,000. Even when they re-sign, like let's say they've paid me $24,000, I've made millionaires in the program. Like I've got 6-figure results for the 10K that I'm asking for. So I want you all to think about that is, do I have 5-figure results? Do I have 100K results? If I'm charging 5 figures, I need 100K results and I need 100K client experience. What are your systems like? Is it smooth? Do you have processes that make it easy for the client to understand what they're going to get from you, how they're going to work with you, what support they get? The reason why I'm able to answer these objections is because of my systems, because I'm able to show them this is exactly how everything works. This is what we walk through. This is what we do, etc. I had another client that had asked me like, what happens if this happens on a group call and then what happens then, right? If that happens. And I was like, oh, if that happens, we have a whole process for that. This is what we'll do, right? Like I was able to show them that because I have a high ticket client experience, I have a 5-figure client experience, really 100K client experience. When you are thinking about what makes people pay you 5 figures in 2025 and into 2026, like I said, it's clear but customizable roadmaps. It's being able to show rather than just tell. It's being able to take radical accountability and responsibility and share that responsibility with your clients over their results. It's reachability, it's not rushing, and it's no no's, only yes, okay? And like I said, it's 100K client results. I hope this was helpful. I am so excited as we head into the new year for all the content that's going to be coming. It's going to be 100K content. It's going to be so good, but go and just know that people are still paying 5 figures in 2025. So if you needed that hope today, I wanted to make sure to give it to you, and I want to show you how to make sure that they can pay you as well because you deserve it. All right. See you all in the next episode.